You're listening to The Sports Fix.
Portions of The Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix, Facebook.com/The Sports Fix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/The Sports Fix CLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Join The Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
Hi, I'm Hector Marinero. You're listening to The Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
We are on the air. We are live. Hump Day, baby. Wednesday. Busting through the middle of the week. Man, I have had the busiest first part of the day getting ready for the show here, and pushed it up until the brink of disaster, but we got it on the air, baby. We are rocking and rolling. We've got not only a lot to get into today and talk about, a big loaded show, a lot of news, as you guys know, coming out here this morning, and got some things to announce. Man, a lot going on. I'm fired up. I hope you're fired up. And you have to be fired up because you're here, baby, and you know what's coming. Welcome into the Sports Fix, you guys. Let's get the ins and outs out of the way right away. This is the Sports Fix on the Sports Fix Radio Network, and thank you so much for being with us, not just today, but each and every weekday at noon, live right here across the network. That could mean you're listening on TuneIn and TuneIn's radio app worldwide. Perhaps you're listening to us on our home base, thesportsfix.net, streaming directly off the website. Maybe you're enjoying us on Spreaker and Mixer. Matter of fact, somebody just told us the other day, I never even got around to bringing this up, but somebody found us on Spreaker through their ranking systems on their site. Apparently, we are the top, or one of, he said number one, but I don't want to say that definitively because I didn't see it for myself, but on the top of their sports talk show listings on that website. That was how he found us, and he was all the way out in Los Angeles, California. So if that's the case, thank you to you guys. And by the way, I do think there must be some smoke to that fire, because Monday on Spreaker, Monday's show was one of the highest shows we've ever done on that site, and I don't know if it was the Monday Night Football thing. I mean, it's the preseason, so I didn't know. Like, I could see the LeBron decision week, those ones were all pretty high, but I don't know, I was kind of, Monday was weird. But anyways, not that I'm going to look a gift horse in the mouth, but apparently growing in popularity on Spreaker. So some of you listening to us there, listening on Mixler, and my posse out there in the Mixler chat room. And of course, all of you listening on digital delay 24 hours a day around the world, whether you're listening on iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio provider. Perhaps you're listening to us on SoundCloud and Stitcher Radio and CarPlay and all of those, downloading us on iTunes. However you subscribe and enjoy the show, thank you guys so much. As I said, I'm your host. I'm the Big Daddy on the microphone, the conductor of the madness, J-Rock, Jerry Myers, with you guys here. And I don't talk to myself. I'm telling you, I enjoy it most when you are riding this train, not me. So be a part of the conversation. 216-539-7535 is the number to call. 216-539-7535. If you can't get to the phones, it's all good in the hood, baby. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter and email. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE, and you can email us TheSportsFix@AOL.com. I'm sure some people have got some takes today. We got a lot to get into. The Indians, and I'm going to start with them. I don't care what else is in the news. We're going to talk Indians to kick this thing off, because I'm going to go so far, and I know it wasn't Detroit. I know it wasn't Kansas City. I get it. But I'm going to lay this out there. Last night was that definitive win, that thing that I think that win, that one that sends you. I'm not saying maybe it sends you on a 10-game winning streak, but it sends you on something. It gets you going. That's what last night was, because the Indians were all but buried 5 minutes into that game at their own hand and came back to dig it out. And you've got to be impressed by the way they did. Of course, Johnny Football, he is not Johnny Football for a while anyways. He is finally the buzz. And that's not meant towards him. I mean towards Hoyer too. Finally, all of that put to a rest for now, which I think is the best thing for the football team in general, because I'm telling you, I think last night Mike Pettin and those coaches looked at each other and said, we can't keep this going. We cannot go another week with this. We've got to get somebody ready, and the guy that is more prepared right now is Brian Hoyer. Now, we'll get into all of that, and there's a lot more to that. Like, you have work to do with John Manziel. That is a first-round draft pick that needs to be worked with. So he doesn't just get put on the bench. He is one snap of a finger, one injury. I'm not going to say one bad series, because Mike Pettin has said he is not going to do that. And if he is, then this team is screwed no matter who the quarterback is. There cannot be a short leash. Now, there can be a leash, but it cannot be short. Whether it was Johnny Manziel or Brian Hoyer, they cannot be looking over their shoulder. And I know I get wanting to have competitiveness, but at that position, you guys got to feel, hey, now if I lose a couple of games, that's different. But if I throw a couple of bad passes, I can't have to look over my shoulder. I want to see, and I think we will see Saturday, if that alone makes a difference in Brian Hoyer. Forget Manziel for a second. Let's see if that changes and loosens up Hoyer, and he can just go out there and just be, what the Browns need him to be, which is really much more along the Alex Smith type, much more along a game manager that can make a big play from time to time, get you in the right spots, get you in and out, all of that. We'll get into that too. Indians, Browns, of course, Buckeyes. Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan, he's going to join us here in just a little bit. Matter of fact, I'd say just about 30, 35 minutes from now, we'll be talking to Dan about all the fallout at Ohio State. Braxton Miller gone for the season. Now, instead of JT Barrett and Cardale Jones flip-flopping for the backup spot, one of them, and Barrett's going to get the opportunity first, will now have the hopes of the Buckeyes season in their hands. This changes a lot of things for them. We'll talk about all of that and some changes in the NCAA. I saw the MAC and ESPN came up with a big television deal that's going to get a lot more of their athletic endeavors televised. We'll get into all of that with Dan Wismar. So much more, baby. We're rolling. First things first, I did want to make a little announcement. I teased it on our Facebook page here before we get into talking about the Indians game last night. I will be returning to the radio airwaves here in Northeast Ohio, and you can listen just like you do here, wherever you're at. You would be able to listen to me anywhere in a bit of a new format. I teased it yesterday, but just got done finalizing it here this morning. So it is I'm a little bit excited. This is different. This is something fun. Gonna branch into doing some play-by-play and some color commentary for high school football here in the Northeast Ohio area. Matter of fact, I've got to get ready quick because I'm going to start this thing next Friday. I'll be kicking things off. But WINT here in Northeast Ohio, 1330 a.m. on the dial, and they can be pulled up and streamed live anywhere on WINTradio.com. And they also have a Ustream page, which broadcasts their audio over the video service there as well. So there's going to be several ways, but WINT is the exclusive home. They just signed a new contract with the Menor Cardinal, with Eastlake North Rangers, Willoughby South Rebels. So a slew of those games, a mix of those. I know that I'll be doing play-by-play for I believe it's for Menor, and I know I've got several different schools here. I've got the slate of them, but I don't have the schools. I just have the dates and what I'm doing here. But I do know that Eastlake and Kirtland is the first one that I'll be doing, and that one is August 29th, next Friday. I'll be pretty much weekly here throughout the football season. I'm excited too. It's gonna be it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be exciting. So for those of you that get into football, get into high school football, get into the sports fix, whatever it is you want to hear me, hey, it'll be fun. And I'll talk about it, and I'll let you guys know each and every week what game I'm going to be broadcasting, what station where you'll be able to hear it, what time, all of that stuff. And I'm a little bit excited because at least 1 or 2 games on my schedule I specifically asked for. I'm going to get to work with my man Ed Doherty, which is that'll be fun because I love Ed. I've gotten to work with him off and on for the last 4 or 5 years doing different things. So Ed is a pro's pro, as I tell anybody who asks about him. He is one of the best at what he does. You guys hear him if you listen to St. Ignatius football. He does the pre and post for CSU Vikings over there on WHK. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to all of it. I get to play color to Ed, and I get to do some play-by-play myself, lead some broadcasts. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you again to WINT Radio, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It starts next Friday, and I will keep you guys in the loop about that. And you guys can tell me, hey, J-Rock, you stink, man. Stick to the sports fix, or hey, you never know, man. Maybe 40 years from now, we're going, it all started with a high school football game. But there's my news there. I wanted to drop that on you guys. And now, speaking of dropping it on it, let's talk about the Indians because they dropped an anvil on themselves in the first inning. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not going to lie. I showed up late to the party yesterday. I got there a few minutes into things, and it was already going from bad to worse. I said, you're kidding me, right? What just happened? Who just hit a home run? 5-0. We don't even, nobody's out. What just happened here? I thought, you've got to be kidding me. We talked about it today on the show, and you guys, well, you're with me every day, so you know what we talk about. So imagine me, because I'm putting myself out there. When I come out here and I say, hey, man, here's my opinion, this, that, and this, then the things have to go play themselves out. And I know that everybody was listening, and then they're going to come back tomorrow, you know? So, of course, I hyped it up. I said, me and Jeff Gorman, what's wrong with me? Jeff Gorman and I yesterday talked about how this is, you know, an opportunity for the Indians to really get themselves going. And today, or, well, it was yesterday at the time, was a good game for them to get it going. And then I'm watching and going, you're kidding me, right? I can hear the people that listen to my show throwing stuff at me right now going, shut up, man. I'm done hearing you talk about the Indians. They're down 5-0, man. They're going to do it. And I saw it coming. And then you get one back in the second. And all of a sudden, Trevor Bauer, bam, after that, he locked on. I mean, he had that terrible first stretch of the game. 5 straight runs come across the board, 5 straight hits, and then he locked in 14 straight batters. He goes, I was a little bit, hey, I'm not going to question the end result, and the bullpen, we know the bullpen is strong. It's a strength of this team. I was a little bit surprised. I'm sure maybe a lot of you were too when Bauer came out less than 90 pitches. And I know he had been time-wise, he had been out there for a while, but I didn't know we were punching a clock. I mean, but regardless, when the decisions go well, when the bullpen takes care of your business for you and gets you through it, then you don't question that. But I really thought, I'm like, man, what a turnaround. Bauer goes from looking like he may not make it out of the first inning to here he is now really humming along. Like I said, he got 14 in a row down before he put somebody on base there and then got taken out in the 5th. But the Indians come back, they chip it away with 1 in the 2nd and 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th, and then bam, 3 in the 6th, put him over the top. Yanni Gomes, did he have a game yesterday or what? We talked, Jeff Gorman, we talked about him a little bit, man. His ears must have been ringing. He hit the home run. And how about young Tyler Holt, man? We said weeks ago, if the Indians aren't going to make a trade, and I know a lot of us talked about Lindor and focus on him, but we said, man, if you're not going to make a trade, the only other place that a jolt comes from is somebody coming up, one of these young guys that's just like, oh, I'm just going to throw it out there and play, and I'm happy to be there. And I don't know, we'll take them. We'll take the contributions as they come. But Tyler Holt, kid gets there 25 minutes before the first pitch of the game, and then bam, there he goes. He hits the go-ahead 2-run double in the 6th inning, and there you go, man, Indians. And I'm going to say right here what I said to kind of start this, and I'm going to open up the phone lines right now, 216-539-7535. We're talking Tribe. If you're calling to talk about anything else, sit tight for a minute. Let's talk some Tribe, 216-539-7535. But as I watched it, especially as it hung at that 5-4 point before the Indians took the lead, I said, man, once they took it, I got this feeling. It wasn't just another game. It wasn't just a comeback. Although, I mean, it was phenomenal comeback, but it felt different. It felt like that game where the Indians finally, and it may have been the most impressive. This sounds crazy with who you're playing and all of that, but it